Do you think it's easy to grab a resale home in Winston-Salem? Not so fast. The truth? Resale is harder than you think. But here's the twist. Getting into new construction is often easier. Yes, easier, even in 2025. Now, before you start picturing HGTV, perfect builds with shiny white kitchens, that's not the whole story either. Because just like everything in life, there are pros and cons, right? And in the next few minutes, I'm going to break them down with real stories from my clients so you can decide for yourself. Do the pros of new construction in the Triad area outweigh the cons? Hey, I'm Kristen Brown, a retired teacher turned realtor in Winston-Salem, helping good humans find great homes. Since 2021, I've helped more than 70 clients buy and sell homes, and many of them chose new construction. So if you've been hunting resales and nothing feels quite right, like dated kitchens, odd layouts, a non-refundable due diligence fee, or it's already under contract before the end of the weekend, new construction might be your best path. But there are trade-offs you need to know about. So today I'm breaking down 5 pros and 5 cons of buying new construction in 2025 with real client stories and simple action steps to keep you in control. You get choices, cabinets, flooring, countertops, sometimes even structural tweaks. For example, I was working with a relocating couple and we toured 10 resales. Every single kitchen had dark cherry cabinets. Beautiful, but not their style. We found a builder with a white kitchen package, brushed nickel hardware, and quartz counters. They moved into their dream kitchen on day 1. No demo and no dust. And speaking of style, the home I'm standing in right now, it's a 2,300 square foot true homes on your lot plan with the primary bedroom on the main floor. It's absolutely gorgeous, right? If you want a full walkthrough, click right here and it will take you to that video. Want to know which builders allow this level of customization and which are package only? Click on the link below or scan the QR code here and book a call on my calendar. Con number 1 is that sometimes there are not so flat lots. The Triad area is beautiful and not flat. That's why it's called the Piedmont. You've got sloped driveways, backyard grade changes, retaining walls. They're real. I was helping this family working with this cul-de-sac lot that they really liked, had great privacy, but the backyard needed a retaining wall to make it usable. We had to pivot to do a different home site with less of a grade. It wasn't perfectly flat, but it saved thousands and worked for their lifestyle. So a little side note for you. The flat lots are always the first to be sold, and always walk the lot before committing and reviewing that grading plan. Let's talk about pro number 2. You got modern design and energy efficiency. You got open layouts, big islands, smart thermostats, better insulation, comfort and efficiency are baked in. And I had this one client who moved from a 1970s ranch into a new construction ranch. And their first power bill after closing, it was noticeably lower even with a bigger home. It had a high efficiency HVAC and insulation, and it made all the difference. So if energy savings matters to you, I can show you which builders consistently deliver. Schedule a time on my calendar below and we'll review those options. A con to new construction is timelines and delays. Supply chains are better than in 2022 going into 2023, but sometimes you have labor shortages which can also delay the build time. A family I was working with got delayed by about 4 months due to the HVAC not being delivered as it was stuck on some cargo ship. I was able to help them navigate a rent back of the house that they were moving from so they wouldn't have to move the entire family into a hotel for 4 months. So if you're strict on a deadline, we'll build in a buffer time in order to avoid the need to stay in an Airbnb or a hotel. Pro number 3 is builder warranties. Builders provide layered warranties. You got 1-year workmanship, which is like a bumper-to-bumper warranty, 2 to 5 years for mechanical systems, depending on which builder it is, and a 10-year structural warranty. With resale, you might be given a warranty by a third party, but sometimes that warranty company makes good on what they say they will cover and sometimes not. In my own personal experience with resale, I'd rather self-insure versus relying on a warranty that may or may not live up to their end of the bargain. For example, I had one client who had an issue with her AC not working during a heat wave, and all she had to do was call the subcontractor who installed it and submit a warranty claim online. Her AC was back up and running perfectly in about 5 hours. That being said, I've also found that not all clients advocate for themselves. So it's really important to read through what your warranties cover and not cover soon after closing so you aren't disappointed or upset if you think an item was covered when it actually isn't. Warranties aren't magic. You still want to do those inspections at key phases during the building process. I can connect you to inspectors who specialize in new builds. Click on the link in the first pinned comment below or scan the QR code to book a call with me. So let's talk about our next negative, con number 3, premium pricing and upgrade creep. Base prices look friendly, then come the upgrades, flooring, cabinets, lighting. It can add up fast. I had this buyer whose budget was $450,000, but design choices pushed them toward $490,000. We had to rework their selections, splurged on kitchen counters, scaled back on the guest baths, and landed at $458,000. A little bit better. There are custom builders, semi-custom builders, and then production builders. So if your deal breaker list is as long as your grocery list, then a custom built home will be the way to go. But if you are budget conscious but want to splurge a little, then a semi-custom builder might be your best fit. But if you need to know exactly how much that model home is going to cost, just as you see it with the same finishes and maybe a variation in kitchen cabinet color or flooring color, then a production builder would be the best choice for you. So another upside to new construction is lower maintenance in the early years. Everything is brand new, so you shouldn't have anything needing to be replaced at any time soon. And if something funky happened and something was no longer working the way it was intended, then the warranty should kick in to take care of it. So I had 2 clients close in the same month, and the resale buyer had to replace a water heater about a month after closing. And the new construction buyer, their only expense was a welcome mat. So the moral of the story here is if you want predictable expenses your first year, new construction is a strong option. Con number 4 is sometimes there will be smaller lots, septic, and no sidewalks. Some new construction communities do have smaller lots with minimal landscaping, and privacy can take years to grow. And here's another layer most buyers don't think about. If you want a larger lot, chances are it's going to be on a septic system. And that comes with its own considerations when using your backyard and keeping it maintained throughout the years. Plus, many of the newer subdivisions in the triad are built without sidewalks. For some buyers, that's no big deal, but for others, especially those who want to walk their dogs, jog, or let their kids ride their bikes, that can be a deal breaker. I had this one buyer picture a wooded backyard in a walkable community, but the reality was a bare yard with no sidewalks. So we had to budget for fast-growing evergreens and then carefully match them with the subdivision that actually had sidewalks. It worked, but it took a lot of clarity and what really mattered most to her. This is why you need to reach out to me so I can help you figure out what your absolute must-haves are. Click on the link in the first comment pinned below or just scan the QR code on the screen to book a call with me. So that takes me to pro number 5, a lower deposit and builder incentives. New construction often requires a smaller deposit than resale. With resale in North Carolina, you will have 2 deposits, a due diligence fee and an earnest money deposit. The due diligence fee is a negotiated amount from 0 to infinity, and that fee goes directly to the seller. The earnest money deposit goes to the attorney's office. So if you had to terminate the contract, the seller keeps the due diligence fee. It's non-refundable. But if the contract is not terminated, then both the due diligence fee and the earnest money deposit are credited back to the buyer at closing. So with new construction, you will only have an earnest money deposit. And depending on which builder it is, if it's a semi-custom, there will be a deposit that will need to be made at the design studio. And right now, many builders are offering incentives like rate buy downs, closing cost incentives, design allowances, or all 3 of these. For example, I had one client use a builder rate buy down to lower their monthly payment. Another applied a credit to reduce their cash to close, and the other used the entire amount towards items she wanted in her soon-to-be house at the design studio. Builder incentives change constantly, so the best thing you can do is to click on my calendar link that's pinned in the first comment below, or scan the QR code and book a call with me. That way I can tell you exactly what each builder is offering today. And last but not least, con number 5, resale risk. If you sell within 2 to 3 years, you may be competing with the builder still selling new homes down the street. And I highly doubt that we will see a real estate bubble anytime soon, like we did in 2004 and 5. I had a client who had to relocate quickly and struggled against active builder inventory. We had to lean heavy on marketing, presentation, and precise pricing to get it sold as quickly as possible. But it took strategy. So if there's any chance that you will move soon, we should run resale numbers before you build. So is new construction right for you? The pros are customization, modern efficiency, warranties, low maintenance, and often smaller deposits with incentives. On the other hand, slope lots, possible delays, upgrade, creep, smaller yards. The truth, the on-site agent works for the builder, not for you. You need someone protecting your budget, your lot, and your resale potential. And if you want to see more of this stunning 2,300 square foot true homes on your lot with the primary on the main floor that I've been standing in today, click here and it will take you to that full video tour. Also, you can subscribe to my channel for more Winston-Salem neighborhood deep dives and smart buyer tips. And until the next video, I'll catch you later.